How has it been? This is my first video. I'm just making this one to express my views. So this is going to be very rough and chopped up. There's no setup at all. Just an old phone and me. I'm going to upload this video to YouTube. I don't expect any views, but still. I apologize for all the inconveniences that you will experience. I don't think anyone is going to watch this video. Enough of the senseless talk. Let's get to the main point. This is a review of a movie that I yesterday watched. It was Pokemon The Power of Us. It was great. Right to begin with. I've been a fan of Pokemon like any other kid. I remember excitingly waiting for 4 p.m. to watch Pokemon on Disney XD, later renamed Marvel HQ. There were many hurdles in between me watching Pokemon. I had school and I had to go, and when I came back, I missed the show. Then we never had permanent cable connection. At times we had cable connection and then we didn't. So it was problematic for me to catch all the episodes. But it's still carved a delightful place in my heart. It has been a few years since I watched the last Pokemon movie. I watched this movie because I heard so many praises for it. I heard that it's the best movie ever since that Lucaria movie in 2000. I've watched that and it's really great. So I began watching it yesterday, and I kid you not, I did not skip at all. I watched the entire thing from beginning to the end. Mind you, I was watching it like at 11 a.m. at 11 p.m. night. So I watched it till the entire midnight. It hooked me so much. So the very first scene it hooked me. The very first scene was character sprinting that I didn't at all expect from a Pokemon movie. I thought the opening soon would be grandiose and flashy, Pokemon battling each other, stuff like that. But no, it was very different. It was a scene of school, a sports school where we saw girls sprinting and we were introduced to our first main character. There were many main characters in this movie that I would say is the biggest strength of this movie. So she is a sprinter and she has won the regionals, but she's currently suffering from an injury. So she's really afraid to run, and that's really normal with athletes. There are many other characters too, but the central conflict of this story happens in a festival called the Wind Festival in a town that I'm forgetting its name, but there everything happens. It's self-contained within a town. So this town has a festival called Wind Festival, where Lugia, the legendary Pokemon, has given them the power of the wind. They uses this wind power to generate energy for themselves. And there's a hidden lie on which the city has been built that gets exposed later on, and that makes the conflict the city on the very closely looks like the perfect city to live in. The utopia. But the idiom that if something is too perfect to exist, it doesn't exist. We get introduced to other characters. Immediately we get introduced to Ash and his partner Pikachu. Then we get introduced to a character who loves to lie. He's a mimicry artist, and he calls his lying dramatic license. He does that for his niece, and that comes off as very sweet, but his lying bites him in the back later on. He does to sustain one lie, lies another. And we see their consequences, and we see his character evolve. And he's my favorite character. And then there's a granny that hates Pokemon, and there's a very funny scene with her. I loved in the movie. Then there's an introvert scientist. That's very introvert, like so introvert that if you spoke with a little high pitch, he would get scared. Like he's a little frightened cat. But he's really intelligent. And this is what I call, the good ingredients for story. You have a set of colorful characters that have their own struggles, but also their own great things. A character has a way with his words, he's really charming. A character is very intelligent, but at the same time, an introvert doesn't like to speak at all. The character is an athlete, but she's suffering from the fear of running. And then there is this grandma that has a trauma about Pokemon, and she hates Pokemon. I don't say hate. Hate is a too strong of a word to associate her. She just wants to be left alone and doesn't want to associate with Pokemon or even humans for that matter. The thing that really got me about this Pokemon movie was its animation. Like, its animation was so brilliant. It was filled with so much character. Like, if you see the character design of the Sprinter, the first character that we introduced to, her 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 hair color her hair color is so her hair color is so beautiful. Like, you see there's all different bands of hair color and eyelashes that is really attractive and that attracts you towards the character. And this is true for all character design. The two kids that are in this movie are in my list of cutest characters after Arya. And then the entire city scene, the music that was in it was absolutely great. And I don't know what to say more about this movie. It was absolutely fantastic to watch. And I absolutely loved the fight scene in this movie too. It was very brief. There wasn't any set pieces, but whatever little action it had, it was great to see. I really liked the way they animated one Pokemon's fight. Like he was this like light that could just immediately transport, and when he punched the ground, you felt the impact. That's what makes it so great. And do I have anything else to say? I don't know what to say else. Excuse me for the fight. There's a lot of sound to hear. And yeah, I guess this is what I have to say.